Hello. So as I mentioned earlier, if you saw one of my previous videos, I'm going to do a show on the AMidianborn Book of Silence. Now I'm going to have make Uther. He's going to go through and make up all this armor so we can take a look at it. Now notice that the AMidianborn Book of Silence has some different look to it, and it affects these armors here, which I guess is most everything. I'm going to show you the biggest part of it. I may not show you every single little piece. So, let's see, is there much in the pictures here? There's not much else in the pictures, but I'll show them to you, and you'll notice there is a little shininess there, and I think our cube map mod might affect that a little bit and make that reflection look a little better. This is a weapon and armor overhaul, so I will probably do a few weapons as well and try to show you those like in first person so that you can see them better. Let's see, is there anything else? Not really. I don't think this is a big deal. But I think this will give you an idea if you would like this. It's a pretty big mod. Now, Tarshana's is smaller than the other one that is out, but it's still a pretty big mod. You know, almost 450 megabytes. And this is by Tarshana. Now, I'm hoping these will look really nice. The other one looks good, but I'm hoping this one might even look better. Just because, well, Tarshana has a lot of experience doing stuff, so hopefully it'll look better. Okay, the other one looks good though too, so I'm not putting it down. I haven't gone through and done a show on it yet, but I'm going to do a show on this one, and then we will see how that, how that compares to the other one. I may or may not do a show on the other one depending on how that works out. But this is the AMidianborn Book of Silence, again by Tarshana and ported by Tarshana. It's really done. It was really done by Cabal 120, and like I said, about 450 megabytes. I mean, it's a big file, but it does replace a lot of armors. So you're really making a commitment to this style. It's kind of like some of the other texture replacers. So, all right. So I'm going to get out of here, and we're going to make those armors, and then we'll have Uther do you a little show for them, okay? All right. I'll see you in the cheat room or somewhere maybe in the world in a minute. All right. So finally are back. I've made some changes to my game, but that won't really matter for this purpose right now. We're getting a little snow, but don't worry about that. We're here to look at Uther's armor. Now, he is wearing the banded armor with a banded shield, and he does have a sword. It's the iron sword. Let me zoom in here. You can see that. Now, this is all either changed or not changed by the AMidianborn armor, Book of Silence. Now, I believe it is changed, though that sword did not look spectacularly different. Let me show you some other weapons. Let's go down to the iron category. I'll try to stick with what we have. So you can tell here a little bit from these that it looks a little different. This looks basically the same to me. But some of these look a little different to me if you look at the handles. Now, I didn't do every iron piece, but some of these look different, look a little better textured, and then some look the same. So you're going to have to look for yourself and see what you think. I did do up the weapons because some of the weapons are supposed to be different, and you can tell that some are. Like this Imperial bow does look better. I don't know if you can tell it. I can tell some difference. And then like the longbow here, I think it's slightly different, but not hugely different. Okay, so, and that may be my imagination. If you look at it and say, well, it's no different, then I'll go with you on that. But I thought it maybe looked a little different. So that was the banded armor and shield. And of course, I did put on the iron boots and the iron gauntlets. So you could see that in a set that would make sense. Now, I do not have a helmet on because we're not down at the iron helmet. We could put that on, but you're going to see that later. I did get rid of the invisible. Let's see. Let's do the shield here. I did get rid of the invisible helmets so that you could see the helmets. Now, this is the bone armor. And this is the basic. And I don't see a lot of difference in this, but it's hard to make this armor look good. Most of the versions I've seen that look good are the extremely skimpy versions. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But it's just hard to make this because it's all bug shell and diapers, you know. It just doesn't look right to me. Now, in another game, perhaps, but somehow in this game, it just looks wrong. I don't know. Very subjective. Very subjective. So, you know, if you really like it, then you should still like it. Don't pay any attention to me. And don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. So here is the Chitin, and this is the light version. I believe I got it all light. If I mixed and matched a little, it probably doesn't make that much difference. And then here's the heavy version. I don't think, is there a heavy shield? I don't even think there's a heavy shield. So, but that's the heavy version. And still got the same weapon, because they didn't make weapons for the Chitin or the bone mold, which I guess is disappointing if you think about it. Now the Daedric is going to look drastically better. Okay? Look at that. I mean, and this is for the guys, okay? I'm just showing you the male. I'm not even going to show you the female because there's not going to be any significant difference. And wow, does it look better. And let's just get one of the weapons. Let's go up and get one of the Daedric weapons. I don't care what Daedric weapon you use. It is going to look... It's going to look tough. Look at that. Look at that weapon. Now, we're going to go first person for a minute so we can see it like this. Choppy chop. I mean, it just looks good. Your armor looks good. Everything looks good as far as these weapons go. You can zoom in, see how that's colored, textured, painted. I don't care what word you use. It looks good. The bow looks very nice. Is that not super? And they did this for every weapon that I've seen so far. If we find one that's missing this aesthetic, I will be really disappointed. But look at that. That looks so nice. Does that not look good? That looks vicious. That looks vicious and good. That looks great. The axe looks good. And you can see, I think the cube maps is having an effect on this, because see how shiny and reflective it looks? And I'm noticing that's happening with all these weapons. You know, all the ones that are really being textured and look good. Now, not all the junky looking things, but... but that's me for you. I'm like, no, not all the junky ones, just the good ones. Now, like here, it doesn't look as reflective, I suppose. But we're not getting some good sunlight. Unfortunately, my weather mod decided today would be snow. But don't worry about that. I still think this looks super. If you ask me, it looks super. I mean, it's just... You be you, do what you like, but I'm telling you, I think it looks great. Now here we have some dragon plate. Did they give him a face? Oh no, I see. His face is showing through. For a minute I thought they gave him a weird face on his helmet, but I thought surely they didn't change that. Alright, so we're going to look at some of this. First off, let's just look at the regular sword for a minute. Just humor me. Alright, so this is how it will look like with the regular sword and shield. This is what he would look like. Now, if you want to go back, though, and look at this big battle axe, or you could do, there's a big hammer here somewhere, yeah, that, any of these. Now, that's going to look cool, and then we're going to go first person. And I admit you can't see it as well here, but when we look at the items, you're going to be able to see it. It looks nice. They did a very good job on this. It really looks like it should. So I think all of this looks really good. Now, if any of this is unaffected by the Amidian, then it's just the other mods that are making it look good. But I think this was affected by the AMidianborn. You know what? Instead of thinking, though, let's go back real fast and look at the mod after we get done looking at these weapons. Because we can check there and make sure that we know everything that's being affected. Now, this is the big bone hammer, which I get such a laugh out of. I mean, it looks like, yes, we just took a big thigh bone and put a heel on it, and we're just going to bash you with it. It's so funny. Oh, that's Dwarven. Okay, so we're going to pause for just a moment. I'm going to go and look at the mods, and we're gonna double check and see what all this affects. I believe it affects most of the vanilla stuff. We'll be right back.
Oh.
Alright, so let's just double check. The light armors, the fur and the studded and the hide. I did not check the fur armors. Savior's hide, it affects iron, steel, blades, dwarven, orcish, elven, ebony, draugr. It does not affect dragon. Okay, it does not affect dragon. It does affect glass. Does it affect the light armors? Not a lot. But it does affect glass. So it's not affecting everything. It's not going to affect leather, so we'll skip over some of that. We'll look at the studded and the hide. I know it affects that, and the ebony. Now, also, there's a difference in this version. Now, notice this affects meshes and textures. This is not just textures. Let me see where they say that here. Let me scroll back. Let's see. Let's see. Textures. I thought it was meshes and textures, though, because I think they do some different meshes in here. Well, it says that there. Yeah, this is a pure and virgin mesh and texture replacer. Sorry. So it is doing both, and it is only affecting, it's not affecting everything. I thought it would affect more, but it's not affecting everything. It does affect some things. It does not affect the wolf armor. I mean, it does affect the wolf armor and the Nord armor, but it's not affecting the dragon. So the dragon stuff is purely coming from my other mods. Making it look good. So that's cool to note that. So we're going to skip over the dragon stuff. We're just going to look at the things that are affected. I did not do the blades. And I did not do, what else? Draugr. But pretty much everything else we've looked at has been... You know, the funny thing is, it does include iron. It does include iron and steel. Okay, so yeah. So everything else we've looked at so far is good. Just skip over, forget the dragon. That is not included. I had a funny feeling about that when we were looking at it. While it looks better, I think due to my other mods, dragon is not really affected by this, which is kind of odd. Now there is some differences between this version of AMidianborn Book of Silence and the other one I've got in my other game. This is Tarshana's. This is smaller, and I think it has less in it. It doesn't have the different ebony armors that the other one has, and I'll try to take you and show you that in a different show. We'll do a different show on that AMidianborn port. It has more ebony armors. It has some different variations, and I think it may affect more armors than this does, and I just realized that. Now, and two, I do want to tell you, I've had some strange impact in this game where my character has been stuck in a T-pose, and I've had a couple of weird crashes that seem to be involved with me being at the forge or in my inventory. And there isn't a lot here other than the AMidianborn Book of Silence that is different that would cause that. Now, there's other mods, of course, but no other armor or other mods that I haven't tried before other than this AMidianborn. So I think I could have a little bit of a conflict with it, or I may be at some tipping point because I'm trying to do a lot of graphics. I don't know. we'll see how that goes. So I'm not trying to say that there's anything wrong with this mod so much as I may inadvertently have something that's, not quite, that it doesn't quite like or something. Okay, and it may not be related to this mod, but it just, I don't know, it just seems like it is. All right, so just giving you that as a warning. If you want to use this, just be aware. There could be slight issue, but it may not be involving this mod. So only giving that as a warning, just to be aware of, pay attention to. Seriously, Uther was stuck in a T-pose for a few minutes till I could get him to break out of it, and it was just strange. And then, like I said, I've had a couple of odd crashes when I was at the forge or in my inventory, which seems to point to it having something to do with these armor changes. But it could be that if I had it all the way at the bottom or all the way at the top, it would work out okay. Maybe not. It's always hard to tell when you're talking about things like that. The rest of my mods, with the exception of the fairies and the hares, I think the rest of these are fairly safe mods. I don't remember having issues with them, and I don't know how they would conflict with an armor mod. So, like I said, it really seems to point to that. Plus, it was happening even before I've made some significant changes, but it was happening before then too. So, okay. So anyway, just with that slight warning, that's all, just so you'll be aware. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to save us here, so we know that we're good up to this point. So the dragon, forget the dragon. The dragon only looks different because of my other mods. So we're going to move on. We're going to skip dragon scale. Was Dwarven included in that list? I've already forgotten. I don't think it was. Ebony was. Now I'm gonna look at the mail right off. Let's look at the shield, and let's go over here and look at the ebony sword, or, well, we can look at any of these. I mean, the bow. I'm not sure that the weapons look drastically different. If you'll notice, these look pretty much the same to me. If you can tell a difference, you let me know. But I think the weapons, the ebony weapons, appear the same. See that? I don't really see a difference. So what I am seeing a little... No, well, we didn't use the shield, did we? That was my fault. Sorry about that. Let's come down. I meant to do the ebony shield. There we go. So you can see a little reflection off of the ebony shield, a little shininess. That looks cool. And the whole armor has a little bit of that reflectiveness. I hope it shows up in the video. And I think the armor does look a little different, a little better. Now there's a little, you see that? There's a little gap around the neck. I think there's a mod or two that you can get will fix that, but I saw that in the other AMidianborn port as well. So let's see. Is there anything else? There's the ebony mail. The mail always looks kind of goofy to me. This is probably the best version of it. And notice that it closes the neck gap and looks better, which is funny, but it's great. Anyway, it gives you a different appearance if you like that. Alright, so elven armor was included. No, it was not. The light armors were very limited. I'm sorry. Let's skip on past that. Glass armor was included. Now, and they changed this to look and go more in line with the Elder Scrolls Online and... Here, let's do this. And I think they said Morrowind, right? So obviously somebody did not like the Oblivion style look. Now I have to say I like this look. It's very cool. I don't know. Like I said, I like this look. I think it's very nice. And you notice the reflection on the shield and a little bit on the armor. But this look, this appearance is very nice to me, subjectively. Now, if we want to look at the weapons, let's take a look at the glass weapons for a minute. They tried to retexture them in a similar vein. They look very nice. I'm not sure if the glass bow really looks better. It kind of looks less glass, so that may be a downgrade. But on some of these others, I think they look a little better. Depends on what you like. That blade looks a little, I don't know, a little less reflective or a little less glassy is maybe the right way to say that. Still looks nice though. It still has some good shine and reflection to it. Depends on what you like, as always. And then the Warhammer, which I actually think that could use a little more glass top, don't you? Like the old ones in, was it in Oblivion, or is it in this game? The old ones had more of a square top to them. Alright, so anyway, you get the idea. This is the glass. So I'm going to try to be picky. Now, the hide, this is definitely included, okay? This is the hide. We're just going to leave that. We'll say he has that sword, okay? So this is the hide armor. Definitely included in this. And you'll notice it's got nice dark leatheriness to it. But you know, when you have leather out and you use it a lot, it turns and becomes more like that. So that makes more sense to me. Hide being similar to leather. Now, it doesn't affect the Imperial stuff or the leather stuff, so we're just going to move on. It does affect the Nordic, if I remember correctly. And I think the Nordic stuff looks good. Wait, we've got some Nordic weapons. Hold on, let's look at those. I don't remember if they actually got changed very much, though. Alright, so, for me, right now, this version, or this port of this mod, is not working very well for me. It's crashing out a lot. Now, it could be that I am really just pushing my game too far, and that, you know, with the other graphics and landscape and different things, that this is too much. But I am having trouble getting through a whole show with this mod that I'm crashing out on. I'm going to do some more testing and check this out, but it is not really, you know, like I said, I'm crashing a lot. It's not really working for me the way I expect and the way I normally experience just a simple armor, you know, replacer. So I'm going to call this here, and we're going to call this more of a testing, and then I'm going to do some more testing on my game and make sure that, you know, for one, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to see if that's really the problem or not. If I remove this from my game, and that's, you know, then that's what it is, then okay, so be it. But for right now, I'm just saying, it just seems like this mod is giving me issues. So I'm going to remove it for now, and I'm going to do something else. It could be that it's just incompatible with something I'm doing or something I have. It's, you know, I'm not going to say that, you know, there's definitely something wrong with the mod, but it's not working out in my load order right now. So, you know, I don't know. They don't really list anything that it's incompatible with, and it is an armor replacer. I would think normally this would not be an issue. There's no level of bliss edited. It's just pure mesh and texture. But I did notice, like I said, I got a T-pose one time, and I had some issues. So I'm going to drop this, and I'm going to try something else. If I find out that this is not the problem, I will come back to this, and I will let you know. But right now, everything is pointing to that mod being an issue with my load order. Not necessarily a flaw within the mod itself, okay? Now, there are the other versions. These versions, I was using this one in my other game, and I was not having any issue. Is there some difference? I don't know. This is a bigger version. As far as I know, this is just a port over. Maybe there's some reason like that. I don't know. I can't say. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to, for right now, in this game, I'm going to drop the AMidianborn weapons and armor, Book of Silence here, and see what we get, okay? So that's all for now on this, all right? I'll come back to this. I'll update this if I need to. Otherwise, I think I showed you enough that if you're interested in trying it, you can. Right now, unless I find something different, my recommendation would probably be to try one of these. This is a lesser one. It has more stuff, but it's a smaller one that you might want to try instead. It could be that without some of the other changes, that this one would be easier on your system. That's just a thought. I don't know. This is a bigger one, and this is the one I'm trying on Porthos game, and I liked it, and I haven't had any big issues with it, but we'll see. I'll keep testing Porthos game, and we'll see. All right? Okay. So, thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will catch you later.
Hey, you got nothing better to do?
You got us this time, but the law don't forget easy. Oh, you're riling me.